Hey, what's up, lightboltjoe here. Today we are going to discuss the 2005 animated feature film from DreamWorks, Madagascar. So Madagascar has three main movies. Then the fourth film is Penguins of Madagascar, so it's a spin-off film. There's a Penguins of Madagascar TV series, there's a King Julian TV series, and there's this new one on Hulu. I think it's about the four animals, like when they were younger in Central Park. I can't remember the name of it, but like this is a massive franchise. It has a Christmas special. It has numerous shorts. I have to watch the Christmas special this coming Christmas to add to our collection of Christmas reviews. There's a few stage productions. There was a musical that was touring that was supposed to open in New York, but then it was canceled abruptly for some reason back in like 2011, something like that. The franchise starts in 2005. I was 15 when this came out. So I haven't seen this movie in well over a decade. Well over a decade. Not for any particular reason, but well over a decade. So as I was revisiting our marathoning of films, as I've been building constant Legos, which I'm very happy about, I realized that, let's do the Madagascar ones too while we're at it, because we have never talked about them. So the first Madagascar film, you have Alex the lion, you have Melvin the giraffe, you have Gloria the hippo, and you have Marty the zebra. Marty the zebra is voiced by Chris Rock. Gloria the hippo is voiced by Jaden Pickett-Smith. Melman the giraffe is voiced by David Schwimmer, and Ben Stiller voices Alex the lion. That's your main four. So there's the penguins, the four penguins. They are living in the Central Park Zoo alongside these animals. All the animals live in the Central Park Zoo, and they're trying to hatch escape plans that never work. But at some point, Marty, we start out with Marty's 10th birthday. He's lived half his life. He's having a midlife crisis. He wants to see the wild. He's tired of being cooped up in the zoo, performing for the people. He wants to be wild. He wants to be free. He wants to run. And so he figures out a way to escape. And Melman's talking about, there's wide open spaces in Connecticut, so they could just hop on a train. Grand Central's the closest to Central Park. So Marty breaks out. The other three animals try to, find him, thinking that he's in danger, but he definitely just wants to be free. He's going to Connecticut, right? So all four of them and the Penguins of Madagascar, so all 8 of them are, 9, 10, because there's 2 chimps involved, all wind up in Grand Central. They all are tranquilized. They're all, put on shipping containers, minus the 2 monkeys. I don't know where the chimps went, to be completely honest. I have no idea where. I think the chimps went back to the zoo, but the penguins and the 4 main characters, Marty, Alex, Melman, and Gloria, are put on shipping containers on a cargo ship headed to a animal preserve in Africa. That's the concept, going to Africa. The penguins take over the ship. They crash land in Madagascar, which is interesting because New York, you have to go, literally southeast, completely down in the Atlantic, and then you have to hook a right to go, well, technically hooking a left, to go completely on the opposite southeastern corner of Africa is where the island of Madagascar is. So it was a very interesting diversion. So they crash. The penguins take over the ship. The ship, is sinking, but not really at the same time. The 4 main animals go crash land on Madagascar. The penguins take the ship and are on a quest to go to Antarctica. They eventually get to Antarctica. They don't like Antarctica. They go back to Madagascar, thinking that everyone is going to go back to New York. There's no gas in the ship. C'est la vie. But what happens on Madagascar? So the 4 animals are trying to deal with the fact that they've been city folk, and now that they're wild folk, thinking that they crash land into the San Diego Zoo, which is hysterical. But they didn't. So they meet King Julian, who's the king of the lemurs. Cedric the Entertainer's the voice of Maurice, his right-hand man. Hysterical. So the lemurs are being constantly attacked by the Fusa, who are kind of like these hyena creatures, but they're not, or like Tasmanian devils, but like they're not. They're their own creature. So the Fusa are on one side of Madagascar. The lemurs are on the other side. There's just constant partying, constant dance partying, constant. I like to move it. It's just, we as millennials know and love that song specifically because of that movie. It's just how it is. So Alex is like not eating, so he's starting to get back to his animal instincts, and he's starting to attack people, attack animals, and like, you can't have that. So eventually it's revealed that he can eat fish, So one of the skipper makes him some sushi, and that's fine. He can eat fish, but it's the quest of like, is this what I really want? Is it okay that the plan's diverted? Is this better being in the wild than at a sanctuary or an animal preserve compared to a zoo? I don't like zoos. Zoos are jails for animals. I don't like them. I don't like aquariums. I don't like zoos. But on the flip side, there's a difference because if an animal's born in captivity, they can't really survive by themselves in the wild. Constant medication, constantly being fed, like it's pampering. So would a born lion in a zoo / animal preserve make it in the wild? I mean, it's possible, but it's unlikely. So it depends on the animal instincts, of course, and some animals born in captivity don't have those instincts anymore. So it's nature preserves are easier to monitor because it's kind of wild, but it's kind of not, because they're not like, there's still technically a fence, but it's not like a tiny fence as a jail cell, as a zoo. It's more like a wide open, multiple acres jail, kind of. But it's a preserve, but it's not. I don't know. I have very mixed feelings about animals in captivity. Yeah, but like this film is important because it starts those conversations, right? It's a comedy, yeah, it's a comedy animated film for kids, quote unquote, but like the adult references are absolutely hysterical, as per what the aughts decade was very had well notoriety of putting adult humor in those films. Like, I was 15 at the time, but I didn't really pay attention to the adult jokes as a 15-year-old watching this in theaters with friends and family. But now that I'm old, 32, I noticed the adult jokes. It's very entertaining that way. So I just really like that this is a very quick 84 minutes or something like that. Very fast. I remember seeing it in theaters, and we were all just laughing our asses off. And King Julian just going like this and going, "I like to move it," at the end, right before the credits go. It's just such an iconic moment for a credit. Credits can be boring. Of course, you have to thank and honor everybody who worked on the project, but sometimes you don't want to sit and just watch, 10 minutes of people's names. It's entertaining when there's something else involved with it. So for King Julian to start that and to have lemurs dancing while the credits are going, it's entertaining. You stay, you watch it, you read people's names while you're dancing. It's very smart. I really like how they did that. So Madagascar 2005 animated feature film, on to the next one. Mucho mahalo.